Happy Thursday. I'm back. And we're just getting the day going. The day's actually off to a really good start. Productive start to the day. Tearing into the to-do list. The family is all out of the house today. My poor wife with her broken toe had to head back into the to work, or she tried to go back to work today. She said it's going pretty good so far, so hopefully that continues to be the case. But yeah, I'm just back for another office hour stream. So I thought I'm working, so we can hang out. You can work with me. Don't have to, but can if you want to. Yeah, we can talk too. It's like a co-working. It's like a virtual co-working space kind of thing, you know? That's basically the vibes we're going for here. And I am slowly figuring out how to navigate Vim. Or I should say, slowly figuring out how to navigate NeoVim. Let's see, how did I do this? What's that called? Email. How did I do that here? Let's see. History page. There we go. How did I do it here? I'm just gonna copy this. You know, honestly, so much. I mean, people. I know probably developers and programmers and coders probably wouldn't necessarily want to agree to this. Like, I don't know, maybe they would, but like so much of programming on any given project is like you kind of like solve a couple hard problems, but then a lot of it is just reusing, right? Finding the way to maximize reuse of the solution to your hard problem. Like, I feel like there's a lot of times where you do start from like a blank page when you're working on something, but then once you develop enough, like once you've spent enough time working on a project, you eventually get to a point where it's like, okay, I have a pattern, I have a way I go about doing this, and I just kind of copy pasta. um, and then if I find myself copy pastaing too much, then it's like, okay, how do I refactor this so that I can just have like this same thing in a centralized place? I don't know. Maybe that's oversimplifying programming, or maybe I do it badly, but that just seems like right now I'm looking at a method here that's called sort grid by, and basically so I've already solved this problem, and once before, and I just need to basically do the same thing, but in a little bit different place. So now it's kind of like, okay, so do I copy pasta this, right? Or do I try to abstract it so it can be used, the same thing can be used in both places? I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. Is anybody here? Anybody in the chat? I don't know if anybody's here. I might just be talking to myself, but I mean, that's what streaming is a lot, like, especially when you're as small of a content creator as I am. You're usually just in a room speaking to yourself. Let's see. So we want to go to this page. Let's see. Yeah, we want to go over here. And I should also say, if you guys are hanging out, I'm like working, so that's why I'm not showing my screen or showing what I'm working on. But I figured, hey, like while I work, we could still chat. It's kind of like it's like a virtual co-working space. You know what I mean? So if you want to hang out, drink some coffee with me, opine about things, we can do that. But yeah, if you're here for a visual that involves code or something like that, that doesn't happen in the office hour streams. That happens in the coffee code and chat streams. I had a pretty good stream last night working out. There was some really nice people in my stream last night. Let's see. Oh, I'm yawning. It means I need more caffeine. That's what that means, right? Yawning doesn't mean you need to sleep more. It means you need to caffeinate more. You need to block those. What is it? Adenosine? Is that the receptor that caffeine blocks? Let's see. Caffeine is an adenosine receptor antagonist, which means it binds to the same receptors that adenosine does and prevents adenosine. I do, when I talk about this kind of stuff, like when I talk about like adenosine receptor antagonist, it really does make me miss the biochem world. If you're new here, you don't know, that's what my background is. I got my degree in biochemistry. Um, and I've never actually worked as a bench chemist or a bench scientist. When I worked as a food scientist, it was all kind of applied stuff in food development. Um, or product development, I should say, for food products. But yeah, when I think about stuff like that, it's like, man, I really do kind of miss doing hard science stuff. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll make my way back to it. Maybe there's a arc of my life that's like Steven returns to chemistry or something like that. Maybe after the kids are grown and out of the house. I don't know what I'm going to do when my kids are grown out of the house. I'm going to be, when my kids grow up and move out, I'll be 40. I'll be like 42-ish, 43-ish. Um, and so, like knock on wood, uh, knock on wood, I'll still be healthy and of sound mind then. And it'll basically be like I'll get a whole second run at having another professional career. Pretty much do whatever I want at that point. No one tells you. No one. I mean, you kind of know it. I mean, you kind of know it growing up that like, hey, if you grow up and you have kids someday, like, that 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 time of when you finally have a family is like you really do have to become sort of a rock, right? You have to provide a lot of consistency and steadiness for your family. That's really what your life becomes about a lot. Like you can't just like up and decide you want to change careers on a dime, right? Or like I'm going to move cities on a dime, right? Like especially once your kids are in school and stuff. So wherever you are, in my opinion, now people probably have different opinions, but in my opinion, wherever you are in life at the point in time that you have kiddos, uh, that's probably roundabouts where you're going to end up. You know what I mean? For foreseeable future. Because if you want to make any big changes, it's going to be, it could be pretty impactful, right? To more than just you yourself. I realize my microphone's kind of peaking out today. Am I just talking louder than normal, or? Or maybe it always says that and I just don't ever notice. I don't think of myself as a loud talker, but maybe I am a loud talker. I don't know. Is it loud to you guys? If you're in the chat, can you tell me? Does it sound super loud to you? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just need to calm down, Steven. Oh, there. See, there I go. I peeked it out. Huh. Or is it just because my window's really small? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, I think it. No, it's peaking. Huh. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit because I don't like that. Da 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 da. I should probably have a limiter on it, shouldn't I? That would actually be probably the smarter thing to do. Hold on, why am I? Hold on, let's see. Am I missing chat? Is there chat coming through and I'm just missing it? It's possible you guys have been talking to me and I've been missing your chat because I think the chat in my restream was actually for an old stream. So I apologize. If you've been sending me messages and I've been ignoring them, I apologize. How you guys doing? Good? No chatters today. Everyone's kind of having a low key vibe day. I like it. That's fine with me. I'm currently I'm currently doing the most exciting task known to the professional human being, and that is writing an email. I don't write many emails these days, honestly. In the job that I have, I used to write a ton of emails in my last job. Ton of emails. They were kind of an email first company. They were a little bit older school company. Almost all communication, both internal and external, was done through email. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. But now my company is primarily kind of a chat first, so we do most of our communication internally, at least through Slack. Um, but yeah, I saw a video yesterday. Was it yesterday or um, I can't figure out my mic gain. It's really bothering me. I think I think that's probably good. There we go. No, that seems too quiet. What was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. Something about emails, but yeah, emails. I saw a YouTube video yesterday or TikTok video yesterday where it was like the guy who invented the first email program, and I thought there's so many human beings on planet Earth that wish they could punch you square in the face. I'm sure there's also a lot of like security experts that wish email had never become a thing. um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Email probably gets a bad rap. It's probably less about email. It's probably more about how people use it, right? Sorry, I went into a trance there as I'm writing, so I apologize. If you guys are hanging out though, I appreciate you guys just chilling with me. It's possibly let me go check the YouTube live because maybe there is chat coming through on the YouTube live, but I'm not seeing the chat. It is unusual for me to not have any chatters hanging out. But it's possible something weird's going on with Restream. It's possible. Let me go check the YouTube. Oh my goodness, you guys are. I'm terribly sorry. It's also I can tell my microphone's way too loud. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know why the chat's not coming through Restream. I apologize, guys. Here, I'm gonna send a chat right now. I am so sorry. The chat wasn't coming through in Restream. Okay, I'm gonna try to work through all your chat now. So I apologize if you're here. Okay, so let's see. How far back can I go? Let's see. Horton Wolf, or maybe it's Jordan Wolf. Hello, fella. Are you the chap who's interested in programming? I am interested in programming, Jordan. Rodolfo, I command you to dance. No, Rodolfo, we're not doing this again. Rodolfo, I'm here for you. Solve problem. Copy pasta. Hi, Tomash. Hello, Mr. X. How are you doing? Rodolfo, did you like the poem I wrote for you the other day? I can't remember if I shared it. Rodolfo, you did not share it, but I probably am not interested in it. Mr. X, search cartoon Tomash, friends, and this is a same of you. I don't know what you're saying, Mr. X. Clay, hi. Hey, Clay. Sorry, Clay. I wasn't ignoring you, man. I couldn't see your chat. Tax Betterman, when it all comes down to is that everything's going to be fine, because I got one hand in my pocket and the other one's giving a high five. Okay, Tax. Well, good to hear from you, Tax. Tasia, good morning. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Tasia. I hope you're doing better because yesterday you said you were in a car accident or something, so I hope you're doing better. Neo, hi, man. What are you up to? Do you remember me? I do remember you, Neo. So, how are you doing? Okay, let me try to find a better way. Is there a way to see my chat in YouTube Studio? I'm sorry, guys. I should have went and looked. After like 15 minutes of no chat, I probably should have went and looked. There we go. Live control room. There we go. Alright, so if you guys are still... If anyone is still hanging out here, I can now see your chat. I blame Restream, so put it on them. Okay, let me try to find, and I should probably pull up TikTok. Although TikTok, I don't know. I don't even know if it's worth streaming to TikTok anymore. There's never anybody really interacting over there. Maybe there's people hanging out. They just don't want to talk. I don't know. Okay, so I've got YouTube here, YouTube stream here. Okay. All right, we're back up and running. Sorry, guys. If you're in the chat, you can comment, and I will definitely see it. So, apologies if you were here earlier and I was ignoring you. That's not what I meant to do. I probably have run off all my viewers because I was ignoring them all. I swear I've done this before. Oh, man, I think I lost that email I was writing. Excuse me. What is... Jonathan Lowe, if you were to switch industry from IT to like marketing, how would you put it in your resume or pitch yourself? John, are you still here? Because I have actually have a lot of advice for this because I've done it. I've done it three, no, 4 times. I've done it 4 times. So I was a personal trainer. That was most of my career life experience. Working was as a personal trainer in gyms. I got a degree in biochemistry. Then I worked for 5 or 6 years as a food scientist. Uh, I took a small break from being a food scientist to work for a construction company as a project manager. And then now in my current job, or in the current company I work for, I started as a support person, and now I'm a quality engineer. So I've done what you're talking about, which it's not always been a huge industry shift, but pretty big industry shifts. I have advice for you, Jonathan. Are you still here? Um, I don't want to bore. I don't want to go off on a rift here if it won't be helpful. But if you're still here, I'd drop another message in the chat, and I will happily opine for you. Or maybe I should just opine, and if maybe there's some people that will get opinion out of it or get value out of it. I don't know. Okay, we'll do that because other people might be interested in this too. So if you're getting ready to make a yeah, still here. Okay, Jonathan. Okay, so if you're getting ready to make an industry shift like that, right? So let me specifically talk about moving from food science to a software company because that's pretty big. That's like dealing with atoms to dealing with bits, right? Like it's a pretty significant shift. So if I was you, I would try to concentrate um, your skill set on your resume to demonstrate overlaps, right? So in any industry, there's going to be kind of a general level of valuable skills, right? Like one that comes to mind is just like project management, right? Your ability to organize things and make shit happen is just generally valuable. So if you've done that in one industry, that is going to be valuable in another, hands down, right? So probably on your resume, you want to stay away from like very industry specific things, right? And try to abstract it to a higher level so that people can see how, oh, so you were a food scientist, oh, but you did a lot of project management, oh, you did a lot of product development, oh, I can totally see how your experience doing that particular higher level skill, regardless of domain, would be helpful or applicable to this other industry, right? Another, like, for example, I came into my current job or my current organization as a support person, and I left my previous job as a food scientist. But in my food scientist job, I did a lot of debugging, troubleshooting, customer facing meetings to discuss issues. So instead of saying something like, I'm an expert at handling, what's the equipment? JBT breading. Is it JBT? No, not JBT. Breading and battering equipment. Let's see. Yeah, it is JBT. So, like in my old world, there's a company called JBT. They make equipment that does like batter and breading stuff. So, you know, if I was going to another batter and breading company or another food company, you would probably want to list that like you have actual experience with that particular manufacturer's equipment, right? That I know how to troubleshoot, maintain, figure out, set up. However, if you're moving industries, the specifics don't really matter. What matters is I know how to problem solve. I know how to debug. I know how to troubleshoot. And so again, it's just about taking the specifics of your job, right? Those industry specific things, and thinking about how you can try to level them up to maybe one level of abstraction higher, and show the value prop across the stream to the new industry. That would be my advice, Jonathan, as someone who's had to talk through that many times before in interviews and had to craft resumes where it was like, you were a trainer, then you were a food scientist, then you were a project manager, now you're a support analyst, now you're a quality engineer. Like, how does any of those things relate, and what's the common thread? You just have to kind of think of it just a little bit higher abstraction level, and then paint that picture for them on your resume and also in your interview. Like, I found that, like, obviously your resume is important to get you in the door, but then once you're in the door, you can sort of really paint that picture of like, you know, here's sort of my meta skills, and I'm very good at these meta skills, and I very much know how to take those meta skills and apply them to whatever domain I'm currently in. That's my advice. I'm not, again, I'm just a guy in Kansas streaming on YouTube. So uh, you know, I'm not like a career coach or anything like that, but I hope you found that helpful. Let's see, who else is in the chat today? Any familiar? Clay was here earlier, and then I think I ran him off because I was ignoring his chat, uh, which I did not mean to. So just problem solved for the new job and refine it to what they're looking for. Yeah, Jonathan, that would be my advice. I know that's not super concrete, but that's what I would do. Is like think about the things you've done at your current job, things you've accomplished or things you were able to achieve. And then think about like what were the skills? What were the really concrete skills that allowed you to do that? Like exceptional organization or exceptional project management or problem solving. And then you can use the stories, the specific stories, to obviously illustrate those skills, but then you can also talk about how you might bring that into the new world you're going to, like marketing. Jeff Ander. Hey, what's up, Jeff Ander? Thanks for stopping in the chat, man. I appreciate it. Cool dude. Hello there, Mr. Developer. I appreciate that, cool dude. Although I would never, I don't know, I've never actually referred to myself as a developer, but I appreciate you doing so. Jeff Ander 55. Yes. Yeah. Yep. That would be nice to see you all here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Cool dude, what's your sleep routine? Oh, my sleep routine's terrible, cool dude. My wife, she is always on me about my sleep routine. And historically, it's just always been this way. So, and it has changed a little bit since having kids, but for the most part, it's been about the same. So, I usually go to bed like midnight is like a good solid target for me. And then I'll usually wake up like 7, 8ish in the morning, right? I used to always burn the candle at both ends. I used to stay up till like midnight, 2 a.m., and then I'd wake up again at like 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Like crazy burn the candle at both ends thing. I stopped waking up though super early when we had kids. Or actually, I should say I stopped waking up super early when my kids got older, because I used to always wake up early because it was like this nice, peaceful, quiet time where like I could get a lot done and no one was around. But the thing with kids is the minute they hear you're up, they're up, right? So it was like, let's say my kids normally get up at 7 a.m. If I woke up at 6 a.m., they'd be up at 6 a.m. Okay, let me try earlier. Let me wake up at 4 a.m. They wake up. So I actually stopped getting up so early, and I started staying up later, right? So, yeah, but because I'm kind of an introvert at heart, so I do really feel like I need that time by myself. And that's honestly a lot of the time that I used to work on projects and things, right? That's the time I used to learn or to acquire new skills or to advance interests that are unique or interesting to myself. So right now that's kind of the summary of it, cool dude. It's like bed by midnight, wake up by 7, but sometimes I'm not in bed by midnight. Sometimes I'm in bed at like 3 a.m. Cool dude says kids are very sharp. You can't outwork them. Yeah, I mean they are what they are. You know what I mean? And so you have to. And as a parent, I mean, this is my personal opinion. My job is to create as much stability and foundation for them as I can in their life as a launching platform into the world. And so, the things that I want to accomplish, the things that I want to do, sort of need to be worked around being the best parent I can for them. And so that's why it's probably not the best habits in the world to sleep the way I do or have the sleep schedule I do, but that's the compromise currently at the moment. And I know that'll change. Like, as soon as my kids get older, like, even now at the ages they are now, they can basically get up by themselves. They don't need me to get them things or do for them as much as when they were little. So it's less of an issue. But when they were real little, if you have a 2-year-old, if you get up and they get up, you're on duty. You know what I mean? Cool, dude. Being introverted is really suited for coding. You need a lot of alone focused time. Yeah, I would say that. Hey, Clay. Clay, sorry I was ignoring your comments earlier. I couldn't actually see them. I was looking at the comments in Restream and OBS, and for whatever reason, they weren't coming through there. Cool, dude. Yeah, introvert. Yeah, coding could definitely be seen as an introverted activity. Although, have you guys heard of like mob programming? Right? It's kind of like this idea of like pair programming, but it's like a group of people, like 4 or 5, and sometimes it's even like not all coders. Like sometimes it's quality product. It's like basically like the team all like kind of trying to help contribute to the solution, which I think is kind of interesting. I've never actually done it, but I've just read about it. Clay says that's fine. Yeah, Clay, sorry, I didn't mean to run you off there, buddy. How are you all doing today? It's been relatively quiet in the chat today, so I'm curious. How are y'all doing? Just having a nice, slow, good vibes Thursday. Rodolfo says I came back for you out of the kindness of my. I appreciate that, Rodolfo. I'm still not gonna do what you tell me to do, man. Let's see, cool, dude. I mean, I mostly see coding as early way to freedom, basically financial things taken care of. Yeah, I mean, coding's like it's a great skill set for that, right? Because it really does democratize your ability to build something and put something out into the world. And so yeah, I totally can see how you view it from that standpoint, man. I love hearing about all those indie dev stories. Like, I'd love to be one of those guys, like, builds a SaaS product that makes a couple $1,000s, even if a couple $1,000s a month would be meaningful money to me. Rodolfo, did you ever know that you're my hero and everything? I'm glad, Rodolfo. Thanks for sharing. Jonathan, that's your poem. Oh, okay. Jonathan Lowe, since it's quiet, I'm gonna send another question. So, like, you're a married man. How do you know your wife was the one before y'all had kids? Pretty sure things angry always smooth. I think what you mean is pretty sure things aren't always smooth, and you're right. Any relationship you ever have is never going to be smooth. That's the nature of the relationships, right? People change. I'm not the same person I was when I met the person I am now is not the same person I was when I met my wife. I was 15. I'm 32. No, 31. I'll be 32 in April. My wife was 17. She's 33. So we are not the same people we were when we met. We aren't the same people we were when we got married. So how do you know? I think Jonathan, my best advice there is make sure you guys have shared values and a shared vision for a life together, right? And that's something me and my wife have always had since very early on. Like, we both have very similar values: family first, each other first. We both wanted kids. We both wanted to raise a family. We enjoy similar things, but we're also very different in all the ways. She's much more extroverted. I'm much more introverted. But I think that shared common set of values and that shared vision for a life together is really what says, oh, okay, this is a person I'd want to spend my life with. And obviously there's the whole, like, you got to be attracted to each other. There's that dynamic to it, Jonathan. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're not the same people we were when we met. So at the end of the day, it comes down to making a decision and making that decision over and over again. That this is the person I want to spend my life with. This is the person I want to be married to. And there is no, like, and everything comes from that, right? You made the decision. And so the only path forward is to continue to work with this person to build the life you guys envisioned for yourselves. If you get married and you always have this thing in the back of your mind, which is like, oh, I can always leave, or I can always get out of here, or I can always just get a divorce. I think it's much harder to have a successful long-term relationship. And obviously, Jonathan, I want to clarify everything I just said by saying that you're talking to a guy who met his wife at 15, right? So it's not like I have a deep bench of a lot of dating advice. I was lucky. I found the one I knew was the one early on. Everyone's story is a little bit differently, but that's my perspective from the life I've lived and the marriage I've had. So yeah, hope that is helpful, Jonathan. There's probably other takes on it, and probably some people would object to what I said, but that's what I've got. Cool, dude. I was extrovert throughout my childhood. Then I realized I wasn't getting same efforts from the other end, so now I'm like an ambivert. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I think my wife would describe herself a little bit as an ambivert now. Rodolfo, hey man, I hope you have I'm gonna time you out, man. But thanks for stopping by the chat. Cool Dude says it's funny you say that, Cool Dude, because I think my wife now, she's like, when I met her, I would have said she's a full-blown extrovert. But now at 33, I would say she's much more of an ambivert. She likes her time to read her books, to do her thing. Yeah, so I totally get that sentiment. Jonathan, great insight. Okay, I appreciate that, Jonathan. I'm glad that was helpful. Professor Oak, unpopular opinion, there is more than one for everyone. Hey, Jonathan, or not Jonathan, hey, Professor Oak, I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I don't think it's a common opinion, I'll say, but I share it with you. I share that with you, and that's why I say it's a decision, right? And that's why I say the way you know that someone is compatible for a marriage or a long-term relationship is if there's that shared vision and that shared sense of purpose and shared values. Because at the end of the day, there's probably more than one person on earth who you could find that commonality with to build a life together. But at the end of the day, it does come down to a decision you make that this is my person, right? And you have to make that again and again and again. And out of that decision comes the effort and the willingness to work on that and to change together. I'm sounding a little bit like I feel like I'm sounding a little bit like a self-help book, but that's Professor Oak, I think that is a completely valid opinion. I think it's a little bit naive to think that that we are like fated mates with people. I mean, it's obviously that's a very romantic. My wife's probably if my wife was watching this live stream, she'd be like, "What are you talking about?" No, she wouldn't. But yeah, I think that's a very naive view, right, of humanity, of compatibility, especially when you look at situations where people lose spouses and then go on to remarry, and people lose fiancés and go on to have very happy, long-term, deep relationships with another partner. So yeah, I think that there is a very valid truth in that. Is in that there's probably more than one compatible human being for you to have a long-term relationship with, but you have to decide who is going to be that person. Professor Oak, you are a very wise man. You know much more than just Pokemon. Excuse me. Does anybody else have a? There's a guy that comes into my. I wish I knew what Pokemon. Professor Oak. Professor Oak. You need to go and look up what Pokemon is, man. It's your namesake. Why do I have this? Somehow I opened something and now I want to close it. There we go. Tutti Frutti. There is more than one, but there can also be no one. You think so, Tutti? I don't know. Do you really think so? I don't think I share. I don't think I share that opinion. That there is no one for you. You know? One, I just don't think that's a very optimistic or hopeful way to go through life, I guess. Like, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like even if that's true, believing it is not productive or helpful to you. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like there is somebody. I think there is more than one and they're out there. So that's my opinion. Which, Tutti Frutti, my opinion does not invalidate yours. So I think sometimes certain people are better alone and thrive more. I think, hey, Tutti Frutti, I don't think I would probably disagree with that. Um, I think alone in the sense that they don't have a long term romantic partner, but I think alone, like they don't interact or have deep, meaningful relationships with other human beings. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think humanity necessitates some deep, meaningful relationships, whether they be romantic or platonic. Likewise, your opinion is just yeah. I never want anyone to feel like that because I say I disagree with you that like I'm saying like no you're wrong because I never want that to I don't ever want it to come across like that. Um, what I was gonna say a couple minutes ago that there's a guy who comes into my chat. His username is Marcus. I think I don't know what his full username is, but he shows up in my chat as Marcus, and he asks some of the best questions. Like he'll ask like last night he asked in one of my streams he asked what's something that you're super proud of but don't get to talk about very much. And I was like, man, that's a fantastic question. I bet we all have things like that we carry around with us and we are immensely proud of it, accomplishments or things done or things said or people helped, but we don't really get a forum to share it. So yeah, maybe we can, hey, for you guys chat, since I answered that last night, maybe you guys can answer that. What's something you're deeply proud of? And don't troll me here. Come on, guys, don't troll me. What's something you're deeply proud of, but never really have a forum to express the thing you're proud of and why you're so proud of it. Professor Oak, I'm proud of my Bitcoin that I purchased back in 2019. I don't get to talk about it much. Professor Oak, that's awesome. If you bought Bitcoin in 2019, you're having yourself a good time today. Toad Sage, hey, what's up? Yo, man. I believe you're Toad Sage. I can't tell anymore because I think you changed your username, but I'm pretty sure that's Toad Sage. What's up, dude? How are you? Thanks for stopping into the chat again, man. Appreciate it. Yo, man. Professor Oak, where's my Pikachu, man? What's Pikachu? Nice. Professor Oak says, that German? Really, man? Yeah, that's what I said, Toad Sage. Every time Professor Oak comes in the chat, I say that same thing. I'm like, dude, how do you not know what Pokemon is? Well, every time I look at my camera, I realize how much I slouch. I'm like down here, and I need to get up tall. Need better posture. Let's see. People keep saying Pokemon. Let's see. Smoke like a hippie. I'm just stopping to say what's up. I'm not gonna be able to stay. I'm figuring out the gender of my baby. Hey, smoke like a hippie. That's awesome, man. I hope it's a great day, dude. That's awesome. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi, man. Let's see. It's an anime franchise. Yep, it is an anime franchise. Blood got hit in the head by a Geodude. Geodude. That was actually, I remember, like, in Pokemon Yellow, like, the first gym you go to, I think it's the first gym in Pokemon Yellow is a rock gym. Yellow rock gym. What is that? For Pokemon Yellow rock gym. Is it Pewter? Is that the first gym this first gym leader you face, right, is Brock, the Pewter City gym, and you obviously have a Pikachu, and so your Pikachu is like useless against the rock Pokemon. So like my strategy was I would always go catch what is it, a Pidgeot, and then I would level him up to a Pidgeotto. Pidgeot. I think is it let's see. I forget all the names. No, I would catch a Pidgey, and then I'd level him up to a Pidgeotto, and then I would take him to the gym, and that's how I'd beat the first gym. Jonathan Lowe. Oh yeah, I don't understand the gender reveal thing in America. Like, you need to live it regardless, so why make a necessary need to guess it? Like, it makes you prefer one over the other. I mean, Jonathan, that's not a that's I mean, that's very valid. I mean, but it's a big thing here in the States. I mean, we didn't do anything, like, we didn't do like a big gender reveal. We just went to the doctor and found out what it was. But it is an exciting day when you find out, even though you have to, even though the finding out part doesn't really change what you're gonna do. But some people, I mean, it does change what people do in the sense of like preparing. So yeah, but yeah, I get it. Professor Oak, don't know, man. Did you belong to a basement before that? You don't know about the games. yeah, that's what I've been wondering. I mean, Professor Oak's pretty chill dude. He hanging out in the chat, but I think it's more of a troll that he says he doesn't know what Pokemon is than a truth. Let's see. Yeah, Pewter, Geodude, Onyx. I know the pain and acknowledgement, man. I appreciate that, Toad said. Yeah, I just remember Pokemon Yellow was like the first Pokemon game I think I had growing up, and I just remember being like, why the hell is the first gym group of Pokemon that your current Pokemon has no real ability to fight or do anything about? Professor Oak, nice. Where's my I have too many tabs open. I can't find the browser tab that's playing my music. Where did it go? There it is. Usually I have pretty decent tab discipline, but I don't know, something today has gotten away from me a little bit. Also, I've completely been ignoring TikTok, but there's no TikTok doesn't have any chat, so there's nobody chatting to me in TikTok. So I guess it's okay that I was ignoring them. Okay, now I've lost my YouTube window. There we go. There we go. Alt tab to the rescue. How long have I been? Oh, shoot. I'm already over an hour. Alright, well, I guess I'll hang out for another couple minutes, but I've done my office hour stream for the day. I'm hoping you guys have a great and wonderful rest of your Thursday. I'll be on again later, so if you see me live again later, jump in. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Toad Sage, thanks for hanging out. Professor Oak, appreciate you. Jonathan Lowe, appreciate you, man. I hope some of the stuff I said helped. Jonathan Lowe, how many streaming sites are you streaming on? Just YouTube and TikTok. I use a service called Restream.io, and I just use the free tier, and they just allow 2 channels. And I was streaming to YouTube and Twitch, and then I switched to YouTube and TikTok, but I don't know. The interaction on TikTok and the interaction on Twitch seem kind of equal, so, you know. Toad says, not fair, man. I'm starting, though. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's always bad timing, because it's like I start, and then people come in towards the end, and then, but yeah, I got to kind of wrap up, unfortunately. I will be on again later, though. I'll probably do some programming and coding on stream later tonight. So yeah, that's the plan. But yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I will see you. Well, maybe I'll see you later. Maybe I'll see you in a short. Maybe I'll see you in another video. I don't. We never know when we'll run across each other on the interwebs again. So appreciate y'all hanging out with me.